all finally worried a little bit because, oh my goodness, I think the rain kept a few of you away, but now the room is full. So thank you and welcome to Dublin AM Rotary. We're going to get started this morning with an invocation. Lisa Travis, if you'd like to lead us in prayer.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, let us bow our heads. Yeah, God, just thank you for this morning. Because we know this is the day that you created. So let us be grateful for it and even thankful for the rain, because we know that that nourishes our soil so that we can have all the grass and the green grass and the beautiful flowers and trees and water and food. And God, we're so thankful for good health that we can even be here today. Thank you for our families, our friends, our community. We all have so much to be grateful for. And thank you for the safe travels of our missions team that just returned from the Dominican Republic. We pray that the impact of the work and the relationships that they built there just continues to not only bless the people there, but to bless them as well. And God, we pray for your blessing over Rotary, that we continually seek to give of our hearts, our time, our resources to all those who may need it, whoever they are and wherever they are. Help us to always seek to be generous, to keep an outward focus that sees, hears, and responds. And these things we pray. Amen. This is a quote from Gandhi. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. And thank you, Lisa. Wonderful invocation. And thank you to the Zoom folks who joined us today. Susan down there in Florida and Ron Morgan is back. You guys all say yay, Ron. And Roberta is on Zoom. She's returned from the Dominican. So we will have a meeting in a couple months where we'll get to see a lot of the wonderful pictures showing us what they achieved at that awesome mission trip. Okay, we've got a lot of announcements and we've got an amazing speaker. So I want to move through this stuff pretty darn quick. On the table, you are going to see a handout with your monthly dates, things that are coming up. And first on there is the district assembly and conference. There are also little postcards on the table about the conference. We would like to have a representation there. I know that I will be attending and I think Claudia has registered. If you have an interest in registering, please let me know. You can go on and register by yourself if you'd like, but the club will help with the payment of the attendance fee. So please consider that very, very important. And then also on the list, we've got the Cinco de Mayo party, which is on for Friday, May 5th.
Lots for invitations later today in your email.
All right, invitations later today for that awesome party. However, you can't party too hard because the following morning we have a community service day. And so we are going to need some of you to sign up and help get your hands and feet dirty and do some gardening and whatever the city needs from us. So make sure you mark your calendar for that. And then, of course, Meals on Wheels. We are still doing our route on Wednesdays. So if you have a Wednesday that you can give an hour and a half of your time, talk to Cindy Groniger. Okay. Let's see. We have the district governor with us today, Price Finley. So Price, would you come on down and give us some words of wisdom and tell us what this beautiful artwork is all about?
Come on down.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Ingrid told me I've got to be really on my game here this morning. So we're going to move this fast. So first thing, April 28th, 29th, you have postcards on your tables. District Assembly, District Conference. It's going to be fabulous. At Mitchell Hall, Columbus State Community College, starting at 11 on Friday through about 4 o'clock, and then transitioning to the National Veterans Memorial Museum for an evening cocktail reception on the rooftop of the building with beautiful vistas of downtown Columbus. It will not rain. I've been assured it will not rain that evening. And then the next day, starting at about 9 o'clock, inside this wonderful facility that we have with some wonderful speakers and guided tours offered of this facility. Everything you need to know is on the district website. On this postcard is the web link, the website address for the district conference page on our district website, as well as, if you like phones, QR code, right? I love QR codes apparently because I've got it on the back too. So please register. It's going to be a great event, but it's even better if we have each of you joining us to bring that energy. So that's my first thing to share. On the back, related to that, we are raffling a print. In fact, that print at the district conference. That is a print by Darren Jones. Darren Jones is the brother of Jennifer Jones, our RI president this year. Darren's an artist in Chicago. He created that painting, which became the basis for the theme. It incorporates the colors purple and green. It was what was used to create the ties and pocket squares that each of the governors received this year. And it's a fabulous. There's a lot more detail about it on the site where you can go to purchase a raffle ticket. And the raffle is $25 per entry, or 3 for $50, or 7 for $100. And all the proceeds go to Polio Plus. So please support the fundraising and have a chance to put this wonderful print on your wall, limited edition print signed by the artist. You want to talk about 125, or you're going to talk about that? No, into it? Okay. 125 Club. I never want to miss an opportunity to remind you of this program that we have at the district level to recognize gifts to the Rotary Foundation. $100 to the annual fund, which supports all of the great projects that you and the 57 other clubs in our district undertake, including international projects, and then $25 for the Polio Plus Fund. $25, real quickly, 156 oral vaccines for $25. But then take that $25 and add the Bill and Melinda Gates 2-for-1 match. And now we're at 468 vaccines to prevent paralysis and death of children around the world from polio. We are getting really close, but we have to stay really focused on that effort. That's the 125 Club. Susan helped create this pin that we have this year. We want all of you to have it. April is our 125 Club Blitz month to really work to get each of you to participate this year. On your tables are flyers with information about how to give, including, guess what? Another QR code, which will take you to a dedicated site where in less than 60 seconds, you can donate $125, and then we will take care of all of the paperwork. It's that simple. Thank you, Susan. Thank you for giving me a minute.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. And Bryce, thank you for coming to join us. You know, he's been with us 3 times this year. That's pretty cool to have a district governor come 3 times. So thank you. You will be hearing a lot more about the 125 Club. We did a effort in October, and we did have 40 people sign up. And but you know what? We've got 85, 90 members. So probably like to get a little bit more of you thinking about it and talking about it. So 100%. 100%. That's all we're asking. 100%. Okay. Paige, I think you wanted to thank someone for something, right?
I have a guest this morning. Welcome, everyone. My apologies. I have a guest this morning. We have a guest this morning. We have a number of guests, but we have a special guest with us today, in addition to our speaker. I would like to introduce all of you to Deidre Wolf. And Deidre, if you would join me up here. Deidre. I know she does. We love her. Deidre is the executive assistant to our city manager. She was with Dana McDaniel for 3 years, now with Megan O'Callahan, and priceless in terms of everything she does, the people that she knows, the contacts. She was so helpful for our Rotary Club in December when we did our tribute to Dana McDaniel. So many backstories, little nuggets that we learned about Dana, as well as just the support that she has given to the city. And with that, on behalf of our Dublin AM Rotary Club, I would like to present you with the Rotary Candle of Peace as our thank you and tribute for your efforts, Deidre. So thank you so much.
All right, let's get the Sergeant at Arms down here. Jim?
Such a warm reception. Well, good morning. We have as we're just going through this, we have a lot of guests today. I'll go down the list. Bob Fields is here with Ingrid. Barb Anderson. Okay. Bradley Muse. Deidre, we've just recognized, and I apologize, Jen, okay. Jacob Stout. Hallie Marquis, who is, I guess, a new member, so congratulations. And Sharon Wee is here with Emmett. So it's really a good sign when we get so many people out on a morning like this, because Rich and I were sitting there saying we're probably going to be a light crowd today, but you're surprised us. So thank you all for coming out. The only question I have is, how many people know that yesterday was the first day of Major League Baseball? Okay. And the Clippers start today, right? Right. So just a little personal survey. How many people have ever been to a Cleveland Indians game? And now let's say within the last 10 years. Not since. Okay. How many people have been to a Reds game? Okay. How many people have been to Blue Jackets game? Geez, that's really good. And how many people have been to a Crew game? Okay. All of you that have been to all four of those events, you owe $1 because I know those tickets are expensive and you can afford it. Okay. I'm trying to keep this short today, so we have $20 in the small pot today and $190 in the large pot. So if Susan.
Yes.
Sure. Pick a number. 7964. 7964.
7964.
That mean I win it. 7964.
That's hysterical. Maybe it's Richard. In the back. Oh, Richard.
No one has it?
Yeah. Oh, somebody look at it.
Let's try again. 7963.
Tom, do you want the large pot or the $20? Draw one more, please.
7939. That's Susan Robinson.
Good job, Susan. All right. Thank you, Jim. And with that, let's get to our speaker today. Paige, would you like to do the honors?
Well, good morning again, everyone. I'm hopeful that you had a chance to read the bio that was on our emails this week about our speaker, Megan O'Callahan. And Megan is our not new, but new city manager. And we have invited her, and we've been honored that she has accepted to give us a preview, or actually a review, of the state of the city, state of the community. We had that program presented to the city about a week or two ago. Outstanding. Dr. Marshausen was on a panel that Megan had put together and really gave us a wonderful overview of the success of the city and all of the things that the city has been doing. Megan has been with the city for 30 plus years, every single, a year and a half. Started when she was in elementary school and has taken, I think, just about every position that is offered. Graduate of The Ohio State University, Capital Law School, and a resume that if we haven't read, it would take the program to read the rest of it. I just want to give you a snapshot from what I've seen in the last 6 months of Megan's travails. Start with the city and the passing of the gavel from Dana to Megan, the ceremonies that take place there. We did the wonderful tribute that we had in December. Megan wasn't with us because she was with a conference of all the city managers. You get a little break over Christmas and the new year starts. And it seems like every single day of every single week, there's a program that she's involved with. Just recently returned from spring break, but prior to that, did the state of the city presentation. This past week, we had the Dublin Chamber honored our Business Person of the Year, Peter Catola, with A's Logistics. Megan was there for the presentation and here today with us. And I don't know how you do it. I don't know with 2 children how you do it, but the city is thrilled to have you doing all of the things that you do and continue to do and have done. And with that, Megan, we're really looking forward to your presentation this morning. So please welcome Megan O'Callahan.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, and thank you all for having me. It's been a little while since I've presented before this group, but I have on occasion. I remember being over in the room next door. This is a much quieter, calmer setting. I would like to start, Paige. Thank you so much for recognizing Deidre. Deidre does an amazing job. I don't know how she does it. That candle will be very helpful and useful for her. I'm sure she'll put it in her office. She does her best to control the craziness, to track me down pretty much all day long. She's like, where are you? You need to be here. You need to be there. Yesterday, she's running out. Here's your slides. Don't forget these for the morning. So, you know, going from Dana and all that he has to offer to me and all that I have to offer, I don't know how she does it, but she is definitely our calming force, and she keeps everything on track. So thank you for everything, Deidre. So as Paige mentioned, he did request that I provide a recap of the state of the city. So I will do my best. There was a ton of information that was presented at State of the City. So if I get too windy or go too long, I do know that Paige knows how to cut me off because he's done it before, right?
Our Dublin Business Advisory Council, he's been a priceless member of that organization for our Dublin schools. So thank you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to bring a lot of the crew highlights. We did have musical entertainment from Dublin City Schools. We had pep band, we had string quartet, which was amazing. It livened things up a little bit from previous years. We had engagement stations. We had a lot of staff there that could engage with the participants or the attendees on a lot of different topics, which was fun. We did have the panel. We had Dr. Marchhausen on a panel, Eric Richter and Kenny McDonald, all there to speak about the importance of partnership and collaboration, and also, you know, how it's an important regional effort and how Dublin fits in the context of the region. So that was fun. And then we also had a nice community art project that everybody that attended was able to contribute to. And then at the end, there was a nice unveiling of that community art piece. So I will though, however, share there's actually a video I'm going to start by playing. I will share the video that we presented at the very beginning that highlighted our city council, and it really set the tone for the evening. So I was able to bring that with me today. It was on the state of there is sound, so I'm hoping we'll be able to hear it. Are you able to hear that or? Is it playing?
Our community is connected. We support a model democracy where our people are connected and are invited to engage and collaborate with their local government. Our community is sustainable. We deliver world-class, innovative, and efficient services.
We've been
for our
tried this
residents,
beforehand.
Our businesses and our businesses. Our community is resilient. For medical facilities.
Hold on, we'll try to get this. I don't know how to pause it. I don't see the pause. Ooh.
Our community is connected. We support a model democracy where our people are connected and are invited to engage
Of course,
and collaborate with their local government.
We need the bands and stuff to entertain while we're
We
working through
deliver
this.
class, innovative and efficient services for our residents, our businesses, and our business. Our community is resilient, from medical facilities to sports and recreation venues, parks, playgrounds, and paths. We are committed to all who live and work here. Dublin is a visionary city, investing in our future to create a place where.
Is it playing? Good.
It's where diverse businesses come to grow and thrive. It's no wonder we've been named the best suburb to do business.
Play, yeah, let's start.
Technology to connect over 50,000 residents, 4,000.
Okay, we will try this again. And I think the volume's up as loud as it can go. I guess. So everybody be quiet.
Our community is connected. We support a model democracy where our people are connected and are invited to engage and collaborate with their local governments. Our community is sustainable. We deliver world-class, innovative, and efficient services for our residents, our businesses, and our visitors. Our community is resilient, from medical facilities to sports and recreation venues, parks, playgrounds, and paths. We are committed to all who live and work here. Dublin is a visionary city, investing in our future to create a place where there is opportunity and all are welcome.
Dublin is where diverse businesses come to grow and thrive. It's no wonder we've been named the best suburb to do business.
Innovation with state-of-the-art technology to connect over 50,000 residents, 4,000 businesses, and over 3.2 million visitors each year.
Well, Dublin is innovative, progressive, and forward-thinking. We honor and cherish its rich history.
Our community is a place where bold and dynamic work happens, where families, they thrive and they grow, where entrepreneurs imagine and they innovate, and where visitors discover. Dublin is consistently ranked one of the safest cities in our nation. We are committed to working in partnership with the community to continuously improve safety and ensure public trust. Dublin is home to world-class events and a destination for sports, recreation, music, and culture. Dublin is fortunate to have residents who give tirelessly through volunteerism, outreach, and action.
Our residents speak up, pull together, and drive change. They are the true difference makers.
We are a community of lifelong learners. From early childhood to post-college studies, Dublin is committed to exceptional educational opportunities.
We know where we've been and we know where we're going, but it's how we get there that makes Dublin so special.
We're a city on the move. From rideshare to bikes to kayaks, we have everything you need to get from point A to point B and everywhere in between. Dublin is a place where mobility meets sustainability, and green is more than a color.
We're a model for sustainable community design that supports our natural environment. We reuse, reduce, and recycle here in Dublin every day, and we make it easy for our citizens to do the very same.
We do this because it makes a difference, and we do this with the help of our partners. From our top 10 fleet in North America to recently becoming the only city in the state of Ohio to earn the prestigious silver level bicycle community designation, we're on a roll. We're the city everybody's talking about. And thanks to you, we've got great stories to tell.
In Dublin, we strive to be the most sustainable, connected, and resilient global city of choice. And that's thanks to you, our residents, our businesses, and our partners, all working together. This is our community, and this is our story.
Okay, thank you for bearing with us through those technical difficulties. So as I mentioned, I think council did a really, really great job with that video. They really set the tone for an upbeat evening. How many of you were able to attend? Good. I knew I saw quite a few of you there. Hope you did enjoy the evening. I hope you learned a lot and were able to connect with everybody that was there. But I do think Councilmember Keeler's role was pretty awesome in that video. It was nice, action oriented, cool. One thing you may have noticed is that this year we called the event the State of the Community, and I was really passionate about doing that. Some cities have State of the City, some have State of the Community. I was passionate about naming it State of the Community this year because I do think it does take an entire community to make Dublin as awesome as it is. It takes all the time and talents and contributions and effort of all of the partners throughout the community. It takes Dublin City Schools, Visit Dublin, Arts Council, all the nonprofits, Rotary, all the residents. It really is a great teamwork collaboration that makes Dublin amazing. So I wanted to recognize that effort and give shout outs and call out and recognize all of the partners throughout the entire community. I thought that that was important. So council's video, not only did it set the tone for the evening, it also shared council's vision of being the most sustainable, the most connected, and the most resilient global city of choice. And that was the framework for all of the content for the evening. So that was the umbrella for the presentations, the panel, and all of that. And that is a very, very lofty vision. It's strategic, it's an important vision, and it's something that was established last summer when council adopted the new strategic framework. And that strategic framework is our strategic plan. So all of the staff, we rally around that strategic framework. We take a look at everything that we do, all the resources, all the staffing, all the projects, initiatives, everything that we do, we make sure fits within and is aligned with that strategic framework. And that's something that really does set Dublin apart, in my opinion, from a lot of other cities. It's really important for large organizations to be successful, to have a strong strategic framework that is set by the visionaries, the policymakers of city council, and that everybody gets behind and everybody's aligned with. If everybody's going different directions, has different visions, it's not going to look like Dublin looks, and it's not going to be successful like Dublin. So we're very proud of that strategic framework, and that's why we wanted that to be the highlight of the State of the Community this year. And it was also a great way to organize the presentation and talk about all of our accomplishments in the area of sustainability, resilience, and connectivity. So in summary, State of the Community is strong. So that was the overarching message as well. And then we got into talking about some sustainability initiatives and accomplishments from last year. When we talk about sustainability, everybody's minds go toward the environment and green types of initiatives. But this area, or this focus area, we also talk about in terms of economic, fiscal, and services, and all of the services that we provide. We want to make sure that we are financially sound for the long term, and that we're able to continue providing the high level of services that everybody in Dublin appreciates and enjoys, and that we are known for throughout the country. So just a few of our accomplishments from last year. We once again were named one of the greenest fleets in North America. We started a new styrofoam recycling program, and can you believe it, but we recycled about a ton of styrofoam, which, I mean, styrofoam weighs nothing. I don't know how you get a ton, but we had mountains and mountains and mountains of styrofoam at the service center. It was absolutely amazing, especially after Christmas. So that was a very, very successful initiative that we absolutely will continue into the future. We have our composting service that is housed out of the service center. We have 24/7 medication drop box at our police station, which is really important. We have initiatives, all these initiatives divert waste from our landfills, which is the ultimate goal. And we have a nearly 50% diversion rate, which is far above the state and national average for diversion rates, and the top in the Central Ohio region. For the second year in a row, we have exceeded $100 million in revenues. Last year was the first year. This is the second year. And considering COVID and all of that, what that has meant to businesses, to workers, many workers are working from home. That was a significant accomplishment that we're very proud of as well. And that's very meaningful for the community. We also planted over 1,000 trees last year, and that's something in furtherance of our Tree City USA designation. And that's also, if you drive through Dublin, that's very different from other communities. You see all of the trees, and that's what makes Dublin so beautiful. So we definitely wanted to highlight that. So that's just a summary of sustainability initiatives. When we talk about connectivity, we talk about mobility, infrastructure, as well as land use. So we have quite a few mobility initiatives underway. Starting with, we have the Dublin Connector. That is a service that's offered by Dublin, provided over 6,300 rides last year. So that's a service that's used quite frequently, and we're looking to expand that. We're constantly communicating the availability of that service, and we're looking to grow that service. We also have micromobility pilots underway. So we introduced the electric scooters in historic Dublin in our downtown area. That's been a successful pilot to date. It still continues to be a pilot that we're evaluating. We have over 150 miles of shared use paths throughout Dublin that connect residents to businesses, and connect neighborhoods to different neighborhoods, different areas of the city, provide recreational use, exercise opportunities. We're really proud of our shared use paths. And next year, we plan on building another 1.5 miles of additional shared use paths. So that's something that every year we're looking for additional opportunities to add to our path system. We're also looking for additional opportunities to connect our path system with path systems in surrounding communities and areas. So we partner with Morpsey, we partner with Hilliard, we partner with these other agencies around us to ensure that we have connectivity to other areas beyond Dublin borders as well. So that's exciting. Next year, this year, we are planning on introducing Kogo bike share pilot project as well. So we'll see if you're familiar with Kogo downtown. It's electric bikes that you are able to utilize and pick up and drop off in different locations. So they're docked, which is different from, you may have recalled a bike share program that we piloted a few years ago that did not have docks. So you could basically pick it up, drop it off anywhere. And we had bikes kind of scattered in different areas. We were finding them in odd places. These are docked, which we think is very important for any pilot that we do moving forward. So we're excited about that. Go Dublin. How many of you have downloaded Go Dublin app on your phones? Good. For those of you that haven't, please look up the app and download it. It is an amazing tool. It's an amazing system that connects residents with services and residents with our staff. So a lot of times when I present to groups such as this, I will show our organization chart and talk about all the different departments. And in the past, it might have been important to residents to kind of understand how we're organized, because you would have had to call or email, you would have had to figure out which department might be responsible for recycling or which department might be responsible for a shared use path. You might call, you might get sent around, you might email, the email might get forwarded around for a few different days until it lands on the right person. But you did kind of have to have an understanding of how we're organized internally to get your service or inquiry to get a timely response. Now with this app, the app does all that for you. So there's a drop down box. You select, what do you need? Do you have your trash missed? Has your street not been plowed? Which that's never the case because we're great at plowing streets. But I mean, there's all kinds of service requests in there. There's all kinds of inquiries. And you just say what you need and it automatically will route your request to the appropriate staff. So all that's programmed in the app and it'll land on the appropriate staff members plate or email box right away like that. And then you're able to communicate back and forth. The other great thing that it does that residents might not think of is it really provides a great management tool for us because we're able as management able to track and we're able to have all the data analytics that we ever wanted on our services. So we're able to identify response times, on average last year, how long did it take us to respond to chipper requests? 2.2 days across thousands of requests, things like that. So it's really, really helpful for residents to use that app from both perspectives, residents' perspective as well as staff. So last year we had over 7,000 requests through our Go Dublin app. And each year that is growing and growing as more and more folks learn about the convenience of that app. Also, we talk about connectivity in terms of our broadband infrastructure. So this year, for the past year or so, we've been exploring options to provide 10 gig or up to 10 gig broadband connectivity to residences throughout Dublin. And we issued an RFP. We've been reviewing proposals. We have narrowed the proposals down, and we're in the process of contract negotiations with a partner who would endeavor to provide broadband connectivity to all residences throughout Dublin. So stay tuned. You will hear about something along those lines in the next couple of months, and we're really excited about that initiative. And then we also talk about connectivity in terms of engagement. We have an awesome communications and public information team in Dublin, and they work very hard to ensure that we provide as much communication as possible through as many channels as possible to make sure that we're connecting in all different ways with all different residents or with all of our residents. So we now live stream all of our council meetings. We also record council meetings, boards and commission meetings, and have those meetings posted on our website. So you're able to go back, get your popcorn and watch as many council meetings as you want, board and commission meetings as you want. But we think that's important because it's transparency. We as staff go back and review meetings all the time to, okay, what was said there? What was the direction there? And we know residents do go back and review those conversations as well. So that's, again, in furtherance of transparency and in furtherance of engagement. We also have very active boards and commissions and advisory committees. I can't say enough about those who volunteer all their time and talents to those efforts. It's a lot of evenings, it's a lot of preparation, it's a lot of hours, but it's very, very important work that we value, and I know City Council values. And that is an important part of our engagement efforts as well. We also issue surveys periodically. And last year, we're very proud of survey results from our community attitude survey. And we received 99% resident approval satisfaction rate overall. So we're very proud of that. It's rather scary because I'm not sure how you get to 100%. And we don't want it to go down. So we're kind of in that spot that we're very proud of, but it is intimidating, but it's a great thing. So next, talk about resilient. And we focus on being a safe, resilient, and inclusive city with the best quality of life. And when we talk about resiliency, we talk about physical, we talk about mental, socially, and emotionally. And last year, we saw a few of the pictures up on the screen. We saw the city's first Juneteenth event. That was a great celebration that we had down at the Link Bridge. So that was a great event that commemorated the end of slavery in the United States. We also, you all may recognize the picture of the peace pole. That was a great initiative, and we're very proud of that partnership with Dublin and Rotary. So thank you for all your work on that. Drive by it every day, and definitely is something that we love to see. And then we also launched Safe Space Dublin, and that was a program that was launched by our police department, and they're in the process of rolling that out. We currently have 12 locations throughout the city that have been designated as safe space locations, and the chief and our deputy chiefs and lieutenants, they've all been conducting training to those facility operators and owners that are interested in being safe spaces. So we have all city buildings, Washington Township fire spaces, fire stations, and those locations are designated as safe havens for people that may be in personal crisis, those that have experienced hate crimes, things like that. They know that they're welcome in those buildings, and the staff that encounter someone entering those buildings is trained and is able to help connect them to the resources that they may need. So you'll be hearing more about that this year as well. And then finally, to wrap up, resiliency. Nothing is more important than having a safe community and having everybody feel like they live in a safe community. So our police department has been recognized as one of the safest communities, or our community has been recognized as one of the safest communities in the country. Once again, burglary and breaking and entering offenses were at a record low last year. And we're very proud of the partnerships. Our police department does a great job engaging partners such as, we have our community resource officers in Dublin City Schools, and we have a tremendous partnership with the schools. My kids go to Wyandotte Elementary, and they're always talking about the community resource officer in their school. So that's doing such a great job of building up trust and respect for young children in our schools for the police force. And they get lots of information from having those relationships with the children that also help further safety in our schools. So that's an important partnership. We partner with Washington Township Fire. We partner with Franklin County Emergency Management, Homeland Security, and all of the law enforcement in the area. Now we're working on planning for Memorial Tournament, and that truly is a regional effort. We have Union County Sheriff, Franklin County, Delaware County, State Highway Patrol. So they're really great at collaboration and partnering in furtherance of the community's best interests in being safe. So that wraps up kind of the overview of the vision and the strategic framework. I also wanted to talk a little bit about some of the significant planning efforts that we have underway. Dublin, we have a long tradition of focusing and being true to planning, and that makes all the difference as you drive around Dublin. Things make sense, things are where they're supposed to be, things are beautiful. So our planning department and our entire staff's been very, very engaged in several planning efforts for the past year or so. And that's all going to culminate in the biggest planning effort that's coming up this year that I wanted to tee up. So first planning effort that's been underway is the Dublin area housing study. A few years ago, MORPC completed a housing study for the entire region. Since then, many communities have followed up with their own housing studies, such as Dublin. So we had partnered with a consultant to lead that study. And first phase of that study was to gather data. What housing do we need? Do we currently have? What types of housing? Where are they? So we did that data collection, data analysis phase. And the second phase was to take a look at the market outlook, population projections, look at best practices, innovations, things like that. And that phase has now wrapped up as well. So we've had a couple conversations with council presenting draft strategies and action steps. And that's where we are. We're finalizing the study, and it'll be presented to council very soon, and it will be finalized very soon. Speed management program is another study that's been underway. We've had a traffic calming program in place since about 2003. So it's definitely time to take a fresh look at that. I'd say the most frequent inquiries, I won't call them complaints, but inquiries that we receive have to do with when's my street going to be resurfaced? And how can you make people stop speeding down my street? So those are two of the frequent requests, and this program is aimed at the second, of course. So our goal is to have a program that provides a framework, number one, to measure. You know, sometimes when you're standing in a spot and a car goes by, it seems like it's really, really fast, but it might be going 25, which is the speed limit, but it just might not feel like it if you're standing there. So first step, data collection. We want our program to be very data driven, and the approach and the strategies would be to make sure that all road users, which this would be different than it was in 2003, probably. Now we do place as much of an emphasis on pedestrians, bicyclists, and other folks that are walking and rolling in the roadway. Back then, it was probably more so the whole conversation was just about cars, is my guess. But now we do talk about all road users, and that's the intent of this program. So that program also, or that program development effort is also wrapping up, and we present to City Council at their April 24th City Council meeting. Curbside management plan. So in our historic Dublin downtown area, Bridge Park area, you know, we have curb, which is different than it was 10 years ago. We didn't have so much curb. There's lots of competing interests for curb, and it's a very valuable asset. If you live down there or work down there or visit, you realize how valuable that asset is. And cities, it's very important for cities to manage that asset appropriately. We also have ride shares. We have ride shares. They're like, where do I pick up, you know, people that need rides? We have loading zones. Sometimes you'll be on Longshore and you'll get stuck behind a truck trying to load because there's not an available loading zone. So they'll just park in the middle of the street and, you know, unload for a half an hour. We also have an economic development perspective because, you know, if you have workers parking in the on-street parking because it's the closest spot to where they work and they're parked there all day long, then you don't have that turnover that's necessary to support the Sweetwaters or, you know, those types of businesses that really rely on folks parking, popping in, popping out. So there's lots of different interests, lots of different perspectives that need balanced, and that's been the objective with that program. And that program is hopefully wrapping up very soon as well. And then I believe Matt Ehrman was here, talked about the Parks and Rec Master Plan. So you have all of that information. But the reason I wanted to share all that is we've had these planning efforts underway. They've been in their silos essentially, and we've had lots of community engagement. Hopefully this isn't the first time you've heard about those, because we have tried to get the word out about those, and we've had surveys, we've had meetings. And we've really tried hard to get resident input along the way in the development of those programs. But the reason I wanted to tee this topic up is because this is the year of the community plan update. And all of those studies, all that information will inform our community plan update. And the community plan is a very, very important document, policy, vision. It's our long range visioning and decision making tool, and it helps make sure that we are investing wisely, that we are using all of our resources as we should to achieve long range goals. It'll be about a year, 12, 15 months. I don't know why that says 18, 12, 15 months process. And it will take that long because we will have robust community engagement. We'll have public meetings, and we want to get as much input into that process as possible. That community plan drives, we have the strategic framework, and then we have the community plan. That community plan determines how we develop and build out Dublin. So please engage in that effort. And I think, Bryce, you love QR codes, so here's a really big one. This is a survey that we launched. We also have branded our community plan update Envision Dublin. So please keep an eye out for that, and please engage in any meetings that we have. Please, I don't see anybody pulling out their phones. Pull out your phones, take the survey. It is a great effort, and again, super, super important. Lastly, good news is Rec Center. I include this in here because I love it, because we finally have surpassed our pre-COVID highest numbers of membership at the Rec Center. So in the middle of COVID, we had really, really declined, which made sense. We were pre-COVID at 76, 79 members, lowest number during COVID, 3,700. And staff and everybody's been working really, really hard to get those memberships back, get the revenue back, provide those services. Lots of communication, lots of work, and now we are finally surpassed. So COVID is behind us. That's why I love that piece of news. And then bicycle friendly community, we are the first silver status city in the entire state. And that's been decades in the making as well. And that's thanks to the support of city council and the focus on the importance of biking in Dublin. And that concludes my presentation. With that, thank you very much.
Could you stick around for individual questions?
I can. I actually have a meeting after this.
Oh,
So I'll be here for an hour probably afterwards.
I'm sorry. Usually I like to open it up for questions, but we're running
That's
a little
okay.
bit late.
Sorry.
So Megan, no, thank you so much for some fabulous information. This is really an amazing community and you really put it all together for us so nicely. So thank you. Let's hear it for Megan. And please stick around and ask her lots of questions because I know this group, you have a lot of questions. There's one other handout on your table that I wanted to bring to your attention. Pro-Am Day, we are looking for sponsors. So if you could share that with your friends, neighbors, coworkers, et cetera, that would be great. And lastly, we have no meeting next week. It is Easter weekend. So don't show up here, sleep in and enjoy the holiday. Closing quote, those who plan, I'm sorry, this is from Winston Churchill. Those who plan do better than those who do not plan, even should they rarely stick to their plan. Winston Churchill.
Sorry about that. No, that's okay. Sorry. I saw you and I'm like, okay, I gotta go.
The job is trying to keep everybody on schedule.